Let us bow our heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come before you this morning, we ask for your blessings. We're here to launch the activities for Child Month, Lord. We are looking at what is happening in our nation, and we have decided this year, Lord, that we need to affirm our children. We need to provide an environment, Lord, that will nurture them. We need to set the examples, Lord, that they can follow to be the sort of citizens that will advance Jamaica in the future. We ask now that your Holy Spirit will come and dwell with us as we go through our program, that you will keep our minds open to what we need to do, Lord, that each person here will commit themselves, commit their agency to the tasks ahead of us in the coming months. So bless us now, Lord. Be with everything that we do, and we ask for your continued presence as we press forward towards the month of May, where we will celebrate our children. So thank you again for your blessings, we pray, in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. If you look around this room this morning, you'll see artwork, and I choose to call it artwork. Beautiful flowers adorning unusually created posters. And the flowers on the posters are acknowledging affirmation. It's affirm, and that's what all our children want from us, that they be affirmed. And the one at the top, in the direction which I'm pointing, speaks to all of them. And affirm is spelled out around the room. Each poster takes on one word: acknowledge, friend, favor, influence, respect, motivate. It's all there. So if you look at this one, it says, acknowledge me. That one says, friend. And so it is spelling out what affirm is, and just telling us how we need to interact with our children. Favor, we need to favor our children. And it goes right around the room, finishes here with influence, because we're always influencing the younger ones. Let me acknowledge some very special guests. You're all very special, but if you'll allow me, Dr. Pauline Mullings, Chairman of the National Child Month Committee, we want to say thank you for your efforts and your stick-to-itiveness over the many years. I want to also acknowledge Mrs. Rosalie Gage Gray. Yes, ma'am. Northwark, Chief Executive Officer, Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Could we also say howdy do to our keynote speaker, Mrs. Nicole McLaren Campbell, Chief Executive Officer of AIM Educational Services. Mr. Craig Hendrickson, co-sponsor and director of the National Baking Company Foundation. We want to thank you for your support and for being here. I want to acknowledge our host, Mrs. Gail Moss Solomon, who is representing a very special person. I have some apologies to make, the Honorable Douglas Orain. But distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and pardon me if I acknowledge the younger ones among us in a very special way, because they are the reason we are here. From 0 to 18. Well, it depends on when they get the driver's license, though, because our age of majority, depending on what you're doing, is 16, 17, 18. You can vote if you're 18, but you can't be a member of parliament until you're 21. Listen to me. You can't be a member of parliament until you are 21. Any of you thinking about this is a very important thing to do, you know? You thinking about that? But you're going to vote. And you know about universal adult suffrage? By the way, this is the extension of Schools Challenge Quiz Buzz. All right, so we want to welcome you here, and we're so very happy that you could share with us. Let me make some apologies right away before I move on. The Honorable Douglas Orain, patron of Child Month, he's recuperating after undergoing surgery. Yes, Senator Don Webby, Group CEO of GraceKennedy Limited, he's unavoidably absent due to a previous engagement. Mrs. Diane Gordon-Harrison, Children's Advocate, other work engagements, why she's not here, but she asks me to convey her best wishes. Mrs. Christine Scott Brown, the Executive Director, National Baking Company Foundation, who is not well. I am going to have to let her know that we are sending, everybody who's not well, we are sending them our best wishes for a complete healing and recuperation. Also, complete healing and recuperation. And I want to acknowledge the members of the media who are here, because without the media, the information shared in this room today would not be disseminated. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's carry on. I'm going to ask at this time Dr. Pauline Mullings to present an overview of Child Month 2018. And Dr. Mullings has been a member of the NCMC since 1986 and has served as chairman of the committee for over 10 years. And we know of her work.
Madam Masters of Ceremony, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, children, pleasant morning to you all. Pleasant morning to you all. Thank you. I need to hear that too. The National Child Month Committee was established in 1953 by Lady Foote, the wife of the then Governor General of Jamaica. Our motto is, children need our love and protection. Over the years, the committee has selected relevant themes in order to highlight the plight and needs of the Jamaican children. For 2018, we have selected the theme, Affirm Me. The word affirm is an acronym for acknowledge me, befriend me, favor me, influence me positively, respect me, motivate me. This theme emerged from a call from our children to recognize and validate their worth. With so much negativity in the society, children need an environment that fosters love, care, friendship, and appreciation. And they also desire from us as adults to be role models who will impact their lives in a positive way. To change a generation, we start with a child. We must therefore use the God-given opportunity afforded us to shape the lives of these young ones through our words and action. Words are powerful, and actions are just as potent. And what we saw today, what we speak over their lives, what we do to them, will help to shape their destiny, and by extension, the destiny of this nation that we love so much. It therefore benefits all of us to speak and do right by them, that's our children. We therefore need to affirm them. Our activities for 2018, I must pause to apologize for a calendar. They're a little late, but I promise you will get them before the function is over. But I take so much pride in that calendar, and I know you all do. So on the calendar, you will find the following. Our National Church service will be held on Sunday, May 6th at William Knibb Memorial Baptist Church, Falmouth, Trelawney at 9:30 a.m. The national service is held at a different Christian church each year across the island. Each year, the National Child Month Committee alternates with hosting it in Kingston or in another parish to make sure that it remains a national initiative. Civic groups, children from schools, children's home, and uniform groups are always invited to attend and participate in this service. We also use the opportunity to encourage all the churches across the length and breadth of Jamaica to celebrate our children on the same day the National Child Month Committee hosts the church service, which is this year, the 6th of May. We're asking all the churches to let it be a children-focused service that Sunday and to involve their participation. Our National Children's Day, Friday, May 18, will be held this year at the Halfway Tree, downtown, and in Montego Bay. The effort starts at 6 a.m. until about 8 a.m. The National Child Month Committee, we did agitate for the proclamation of the National Children's Day in the year 2012. Sir Patrick Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, agreed and officially proclaimed that the National Children's Day will be on the third Friday in the month of May annually. The Governor General also states that the National Children's Day seeks to honor, remember, esteem, and appreciate all our children by showing them love, helping them to feel special in the same manner we are honored as parents on Mother's Day and Father's Day. I took my time with that because if no one else gets it, you who are here, you must understand that. And you must leave here and spread the word on behalf of the National Child Month Committee. We want them to feel special that day. And can I tell you, we have not gotten there yet. But this year, we really want to be there. When we are seen at the different location, we don't want anybody to say what is going on. We want them to know it's Children's Day, National Children's Day. We want to see everybody wearing something yellow on that day. When I see you near, I know you know what's going on. And guess what? Some people wear the yellow and don't know either. But at least for us, we think they know. But it's a very special day in the lives of the Jamaican children, and we're therefore asking that everyone really get involved. Get involved. The Gleaner, and I'm quoting from the Gleaner now, Wednesday, May 9, 2012, said, "On this day, parents, teachers, guardians, and caregivers across Jamaica are encouraged to celebrate our children by doing something special for them. On that day, we give our children hugs, encouragement, love. The National Child Month Committee, we give out token, stickers, and we really enjoy that morning when we go on National Children's Day. The National Day of Prayer and Fasting is something that we have instituted. I think this is about our 4th year. But we thought that it was necessary. And so we will have it, as usual, in May. It's going to be on the last Wednesday in May, which is May 30. This year, because our activities are mainly out of town for national picture, we will be having it at the Maypen New Testament Church of God. It starts at 10 a.m. and we go to 2 p.m. We pray, we worship, we fast, we bless our children, we dedicate them, we cover them. It's always a wonderful place to be. Our Youth Outstanding Academic Achievement Awards ceremony, long name for a very important function, will be held on Wednesday, June 27 at the Knutsford Court Hotel. The award honors the non-traditional high school students who excelled academically in their CSEC passes, are good role models in their community and school, and they face challenging circumstances but overcome and do well in their exams. So that is going to be a very special function. Our Youth Forum, Friday, November 2, will be held at the St. Andrew Parish Church Hall at 9 o'clock to 2 p.m. on that day. Now the youth of the nation are given the opportunity at this forum to express their fears, their concerns about what's happening in our nation and how it has impacted them. But they do this in relation to the theme. So I am so excited. I can't wait to see November 2, because I can tell you when those young people get together, they really pour their heart out. And with this theme, I can't wait to get their reaction. But it's always a very good function. And so we will be having children voicing their opinion, giving their ideas, giving their interpretation for positive changes. We will have activities such as debates, drama, speech presentations, cultural items, display, prizes and giveaways. Students, teachers, and guidance counselors from high schools across Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Thomas, and St. Catherine are usually the ones who participate. Partnership. This is something that we have been asking for over the years, and gradually we are getting there. The National Child Month Committee endorses activities and efforts that seek to improve the lives of our children. The role of the National Child Month Committee is not just to select a theme for the year and to ensure that the month of May is being celebrated as Child Month, but also to encourage involvement of public and private stakeholders through partnerships that will allow greater visibility of projects and activities through registration with the National Child Month Committee. These activities will be shared through our social media platforms. And through this strategy, we will be able to identify the number of activities coordinated across Jamaica for our children in the month of May. So we are aiming to really have a registry where we know exactly for the month of May, all the persons who are involved, all the groups who are involved, what is it that you are doing for the children. At the end, we should be able to report that there were over 1 million activities this year put on across Jamaica for the Jamaican children. Don't that would be great? It would be great. So that's what we want. And we are asking you to just let us know. We are happy to have partnered with us this year the Jamaica Fire Brigade Fire Prevention Unit. In its campaign, Jamaica's future is on fire. Make we fix it, which supports the 2018 theme, as their aim is to get children to acknowledge fire safety practices and extend these practices to friends and families. Also partnering with us this year, the Institute of Jamaica Junior Center. They will host their 8th annual Hush Children Symposium on Thursday, May 17. The symposium was birthed out of a need to have negative issues affecting our children and youth brought to the fore in order to facilitate the examining of these concerns and to highlight the impact that they have, and to bring some measure of understanding and healing, closure also to those who may have directly or indirectly affected by them. We have again joined forces with the coordinators of the Family Expo and Special Resource Needs Fair, which will be held on Saturday, May 26th. Mrs. Christine Staple Ebanks, founder of the Nathan Ebanks Foundation and leader of the organization for the expo, will be afforded a few minutes today to share in the event. So she will come on as soon as I leave, just a few minutes to give you an idea. The activities to which our partners are involved are noted on the May month calendar of activities that we have. It's still not here yet, but it's coming. I take this opportunity to invite organizations, groups, or individuals who are hosting activities for children in the month of May to register the same with us. We are heartened when we see that our sensitization efforts over the years has produced some traction and has resulted in children being brought to focus and how we go about our activities. Please visit our Facebook page, National Child Month Committee. Click on the link to register the same. Or you may contact our social media coordinator, Ms. Ruth Lawrence, at 6 6 6 3 7 2. That's 4 6 6 6 3 7 2 for further details. Our sponsors, a very special group of persons. For over 30 years, I've sat on this committee, and I watch every year our sponsors as they ensure that the month of May becomes a reality. I want you all to know that the National Child Month Committee is a working committee, but we will never be able to sponsor the events in May. Therefore, we do look to our sponsors, and I pause at this time to acknowledge the consistent support of GraceKennedy Limited. They have been with the National Child Month Committee for over 30 years as our lead sponsor. Please put your hands together for GraceKennedy. And then coming on board, the National Baking Company Limited. Since the day they committed to this cause, they have never looked back. And they have been with us for over 7 years, ensuring that one particular activity is carried out. The financial and technical support offered by these two companies, in particular, have tremendously aided the objectives of this committee as we try to impact Jamaica's children and family. We would also like to acknowledge the Kingston Bookshop, or Custis Stedman Fuller, and the RJR Gleaner Community Groups, the National Health Fund, General Accident Insurance Company Limited, Island Grill, Jamaica Producers Group Limited, Restaurant of Jamaica, and the TBC Radio Group, who have already committed their support for 2018. Please put your hands together for all these sponsors so far. To other companies and individuals preparing to put your economic and technical shoulders to the wheel, we will definitely be looking forward to that, as collectively we try to influence our nation's children in a positive manner. I take this opportunity to thank you in advance, those of you who are coming on, and those of you who know others that you can ask. I thank you in advance for the part you will play in helping to build the awareness to pro-social family values, to facilitate the vocal union of advocates for a holistic societal change that will help to secure a stable present and a brighter, more productive future for our Jamaica's children. Please note our contacts. They will be on the calendar. However, our email, ncmcja@gmail.com. My personal phone number, that's 816-2144. And the vice chair number, 909-5859. We expect these phones to ring nonstop for people calling to say, we want to do something for our children. We want to give. So I take this opportunity now to recognize the committee members, a hard-working, talented, dedicated set of persons who give volunteer service to this committee. These persons, as I often refer to, that they are my legs, seeing I'm the chair. They have also proven to me this time around that they are not just my legs, but they are an extension of my arms. They have carried out the mandate so efficiently during the past couple of months where I have been ill and unable to participate in any way. Today, committee members, wherever you are, please stand. I truly salute you, and I want to thank you for your work and effort. Committee members, thank you. Thank you so much. And they did everything without me. They didn't call me. They didn't want me to do anything. At one point, I was like, I don't know what is happening. I need to know. Yes, you need to know, but it's okay right now. Just get well. I really want to thank them. Mrs. Claudette Cope, where are you? The chair of the launch committee this year. And you know, some things are good in us. Stand up again for me, Claudette. For years, I've been trying to find someone to just let me not chair the launch committee. I've chaired it for years, and I couldn't find anybody. But this year, when I wasn't welfare, they found somebody. I know they did a very good job. That sounds good for me. We want to thank you, Claudette, and your team for the hard work that made today a reality. Miss Dion Roden, she was around the back. I would love her to be in if she's anywhere nearby. But this young lady, she is from GraceKennedy Limited, but she has contributed her support over the years to this committee. She has given such invaluable service. It's not just service of coming to the committee meeting, but she's just always there detailing for us. You know, there she's at the back in the black and white. Put your hands together for her, giving us technical support, helping us when we get weak sometimes in areas. You know, we all don't have all the skills, but some people have some that we can pull on, and she would just guide us and help us along. And this year, especially with my absence, she was there again on the launch committee. And today we have the launch. Dion, we are truly grateful. Please know that. Thank you. So today marks the start of the Child Month 2018 journey. I would like you all to come along with me on this journey, and let us put hands and heart together and affirm the nation's children. Thank you. Ms. Ebanks. Yes, I told her already. Come on, Ms. Ebanks. I did mention. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mullins. Good morning, all. Good morning, children. Dr. Mullins, strike one when you say we need to have yellow in your closet. I don't have any. Strike two against me when you say all the members must stand, and I couldn't because I'm not a member. I had to borrow the yellow shirt. So thank you so much. The way we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. Matthew Jacobson says, it is better to build a child up than repair an adult. This is our position at the Nathan E. Banks Foundation, and this is why we joined with the National Child Month initiative to strengthen the voice of advocacy for our nation's children. In 2015, inspired by the mission of the National Child Month Committee, we worked with the Ministry of Health to inaugurate a national day set aside in May to observe our children's mental health. Hence, the fourth Thursday of every May is observed as National Child and Adolescent Mental Health Awareness Day. This year, our theme is Sticks and Stones, and we're seeking to have a national conversation with children, with adults, and the public about the words that we use with our children and the power that they hold to build them up or tear them down. Our second initiative on this year's calendar is a second Family Expo and Special Needs Resource Fair, which, as Dr. Mullins stated, will be held at Hope Gardens, Saturday, May 26, 2018. This particular event was birthed because of Child Month as a response to reaching parents, families, and a wider community with the message of loving our children. The event assembles together all the major agencies, many of whom are here and our partners, together with specialists and professionals in one outdoor environment where families can learn, share, play together, and network towards the betterment of child development. Our theme for this year is healthy choices, healthy family, healthy children. And it is our hope that through an expanded focus on the family, through the provision of free screening services, learning assessments, developmental screening, dental work, and all kinds of different services for the family, that the event will attract a number of persons who are looking for information as they seek to learn how to develop their children. The event will run from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and will end with a 1-hour concert with gospel artist Carrie Sales. Today, we have brought some flyers with us. We have them in the back. And for those who are in need of further details, we ask that you get in touch with us. And the flyers look like this. And you get in touch with us, and we would be very happy to provide you with more details. Thank you.
Love the passion you bring to this, Christine Stapley Banks. Thank you very, very much. May I ask all the people in this room who are under 18 years to stand? Under 18. Don't ever try that. Everybody under 18 on their feet now? And the rest of us, could we affirm them with our applause, please? Thank you so very much. And then you can keep standing. You over 18? Oh, okay. You can keep standing and join me up here. And now, thank you so very much, my friend, in the green shirt. Thank you. You may sit at this time. Thank you very much. So these people are standing, are about to perform for you, and they're going to be joined by somebody now who's just toops over 18. All right? Just 18, toops over 18. So Excelsior High School, this is Romario Ricketts. Clap him, clap him, clap him. Now, Greater Portmore, over here. This is the young lady, Esther Johnson, at the back there. And I've left this young lady for the last because, now listen to this. She's at St. George's College. Oh, yes. You know they have a sixth form there with girls as well, ladies as well. Clap her. So could you come on over? They're going to perform for us. There's a song that's been arranged by Jody Ann Johnson, and they are going to deliver this song. So here we go.
Affirm me, acknowledge the good that I have done. I need all your praise now when I'm young. Affirm me, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Just don't under me, I will become. Cause you affirm me.
If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. If a child lives with pity, he learns to feel sorry for himself.
Be careful how you criticize and accept my right to live a life that's happy. I don't want to be afraid to breathe. Affirm me, acknowledge me, favor me, be a friend to me. Surprisingly, I'll thrive. Affirm me, influence my heart to love, respect the life I got from above. Surprisingly, I'll thrive. Affirm me.
When we live with approval, we learn to like ourselves. When we live with praise, we learn appreciation. So teach us recognition, so we learn it's okay to have goals. Teach us acceptance, so we can learn to love.
Be careful how you criticize and accept my right to live a life that's happy. I don't want to feel afraid to breathe. Affirm me, acknowledge me, favor me, be a friend to me. Surprisingly, I'll thrive. Affirm me, influence my heart to love, respect the life I not from above. Surprisingly, I'll thrive. Affirm me.
Oh, na, 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 na.
Oh, na 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 na. Affirm me.
Listen to me, man. We need to just get them into the studio. Right? When you're ready to record, I will produce you. All right? And William will be your agent. William is a graduate of Caribbean School of Media and Communication, working nationwide around here. Clap them again, weren't they fabulous? But every opportunity I get to interact at a lectern with a microphone, I try to share something about our history. And this is for the young people, but not only for them. You three young people, by the way, the harmonies were lovely. And might I just also acknowledge Dr. Dorothy Note Law, who is an adaptation of a poem, Children Learn What They Live, and of course, Jodie Ann Johnson for what she did. But this is especially for all of you, younger ones. When you get out of this building today, understand that you're in a very historic part of Jamaica. One of our very first hotels was built across the road, the Myrtle Bank Hotel. The Jamaica Stock Exchange is there. If you go left when you get out here and you go to the mound where there's a traffic light right at the little mound, there was an ice factory, Kingston Ice Factory. That section is called Breezy Castle. Because many people didn't have fridges. That's right. So we had to buy the ice from the truck. The ice truck will come with the sawdust on the ice. And where I come from in the country, forget that. And there's no ice, forget it, all right? And by the way, ice is not all that great for you anyway. That's another story. But when you come out here, if you turn right, then there are some other edifices, such as what was then the Air Jamaica building. The Bank of Jamaica is there. Then we have what you now know as the Jamaica Conference Center, which was originally built as the International Seabed Authority. Lord, the history of flow this morning. The International Seabed Authority, but the ratification did not happen by certain important countries, so it had to be renamed the Jamaica Conference Center. And if you look at the front of that building, you see the names of every artisan, every construction worker, every person who worked on it etched there under the theme, 1 cocoa full basket. Friends, when we say to our young people, you don't know, Asieka, we not tell them. We have to share, and it's not just young at this age, but anyone younger than we are. Because there are experiences in our personal history, never in a book, but we know it. We know it about our families, our communities, our schools. And then there are other things about down here on Hanover Street that you're going to have to learn about it. But all right. Talk to me afterwards. I'll tell you some of that. Okay. And then there's Victoria Pier, and them will fix it up right now, refix it up. People older than me, them used to promenade down King Street in them fineries and them parasol on a Saturday evening, and parasol? Fancy umbrella, right? And them go down to Victoria Pier, and that's where they would sit and dine and turn out. And I actually covered one of my visits, media, this is for you, one of the visits when the Queen came to Jamaica. I did coverage right down at Victoria Pier where her yacht docked. Okay, that the time her arm was broken. Anybody remember that? All right. I'm just saying that we need to share. If we don't share, the younger ones can't know. And we are to stop looking at them and say, they you don't know, because we are at fault. What a lecture. Gail, don't tell your parents at a lecture this morning, please. Could you help me welcome Gail Moss Solomon, General Counsel and Chief Corporate Secretary, Grace Kennedy, to bring the Grace Kennedy Sponsors Report.
Our friend the Custos of Kingston, Honorable Stedman Fuller, good morning. Thank you for being here. Of course, our amazing Master of Ceremonies, who I love so dearly, Faye Ellington, thank you. You're one of the absolute best. Dr. Mullings, good morning, you're just incredible. We'll get to that some more. Craig Hendrickson, our co-sponsor, as we say, we can't do it alone, right? So we always need help, so thank you so much for being here. And our keynote speaker, Nicole McLaren Campbell, who I'm really looking forward to hearing. Good morning, good to see you. And ladies and gentlemen, the young people, I big them up so much I forgot to big them up in the official thing. the young people, the reason we're all here. You're just amazing, and thank you for being here, and we're proud to be a part of this movement. Ladies and gentlemen, and the media, everyone, good morning. I'm so proud to be here. You know, I really don't like public speaking. I know, I'm an attorney and I don't like public speaking, but this is the reality. And so, but Mr. Webby, who I'm representing, knows that there are certain things that if he asks me to speak at, I'm not going to tell him no. And this is absolutely one of them, which is why me and Dr. Mullings have become such good friends. So I really am I'm honored to be here. It's a privilege to be here with you all, and it's a privilege to represent Senator Webby, our group CEO. And I can tell you, he's so sad that he's not here, because this is his kind of thing, right? When you see him in the media with young people, with children hugging them up and chatting to people and things, I mean, that is who he is. If you know him, that really is who he is. He's genuinely doing it. He's doing it for the love and not for the likes, right? So that's him. So he does apologize. He really couldn't be here. And I will try and do my very best to fill his shoes. So I really have to, at this time, congratulate the National Child Month Committee. When we hear from Dr. Mullings, all of the work and effort and the passion, it's just incredible what goes into this effort. This committee has been working tirelessly to implement programs for the betterment of our children, and we wish them continued success as we embark on Child Month for 2018. And the theme, Affirm Me, that has been chosen this year, it gives me goosebumps. I mean, it really is so powerful. I'm so moved by it. I want us all to just imagine something for a moment. Imagine if we all took the time to truly support, empower, and affirm our own children and all those who we came into contact with, every single one. Imagine the indescribable impact this would have on our society if we raised a generation of young people who felt favored, influenced, acknowledged, respected, understood, and motivated. I mean, the sky would be the limit for us. So, you know, at GraceKennedy, we have a doctrine and a mantra that we care. And I have to tell you, I've only been working with GraceKennedy for 2 years in July. And it's a company I always admired. I used to look at it from the outside and say, what an incredible company. You know, they just take care of their employees, they take care of the community. They do the right thing, they say the right things. And I always wondered, you know, what would it be like from the inside? Because, you know, sometimes things look very pretty from the outside, but they're not so pretty when you get inside. So, but I can tell you, I've been here now, coming up to 2 years in July, and I can absolutely tell you that GraceKennedy, everything that you see from the outside, our values of honesty, integrity, and trust, and our mantra that we care is absolutely so, from top to bottom in the organization. And it's something I'm very proud of. Thank you. So it's in recognition of the gap that we saw in the societies in which we operate that GraceKennedy makes this extra effort to ensure that the several programs supported through our 2 foundations that are aimed at young people go far beyond just the monetary support. And yes, the monetary support we know is very significant and important. We have any accountants and CFOs or in the house who will tell you absolutely it takes cash to care, right? But we like to go further than that because we understand the importance of not just the financial assistance, but also to giving this support to young people, to give them the acknowledgement, to give them friendship, to favor them, and just to give them support in their daily lives through these programs. So we remain committed to giving back. And it's since 1970, Dr. Mullings told you how long we've been supporting, over 30 years, which is incredible. And, you know, the Grace and Staff Foundation, which Tankita is here, she heads that foundation. Give her a round of applause, please. She does so much fantastic work. Since 1970s, we've been doing a great deal of work, particularly focused on children and young people who live in the communities that we serve, which are oftentimes challenged communities. So, for example, we have a homework center in Parade Gardens, not so far from here. We also have homework centers in Barbican, Majesty Gardens, We also have them in Quarry Hill and in De La Vega City in St. Catherine, and even in Sav in Westmoreland. And apart from these homework centers that provide so much support for young people, we also have a very powerful program that is led by Dr. Curtis Sweeney, who is here also. Dr. Sweeney, big up yourself. And you know, Dr. Sweeney is a clinical psychologist, so maybe that's why the focus of this program is the way it is, but it really is focused on building self-worth and self-esteem in young people. And it allows these young people to interact with adults and professionals and persons outside of their families and outside of their communities so that they can get guidance. Guidance in their schoolwork, but also guidance if they have to make a life decision, you know, that could impact them for the rest of their lives. And I have to say that I think it's one of our most successful programs. Would you agree, Tankita? When you sit here and hear from the people from the communities, the young people, their testimonials, their families, I mean, the work is really, it's really life-changing. So I really want to big up Tankita and Dr. Sweeney and their teams for all the work that they do. I said before, we're so proud of our long association with the National Child Month Committee. Mr. Orain, our former chairman and CEO, also, it's only back surgery why he's not here right now. He is absolutely committed to this program, and he is committed to young people. In his retirement, he is doing tireless work with his alma mater, the Woolmer School. He also, he's also an angel investor. You young people know what that is? So, you know, it's somebody like Mr. Rain who has so much business experience. He finds a way, and he finds capital either from himself or through persons that are willing and have the capacity. And he invests in businesses with young people. And then he gives them guidance in terms of that very business. And that is, when you hear him speak about it, the passion just exudes. That's what he's doing nowadays, now that he's retired, and he loves it. So he's very sorry that he's not here. Auntie Pauline already bigged up Dion, who is our very own corporate communication officer. And Dr. Mulling spoke about her passion, and we are so proud that the same passion that she has for her work at GraceKennedy, she carries over to this very worthy cause, and so I just wanted to recognize her as well. So I am going to go now because, you know, we have lots of very important people to hear from, but I just want to, before I leave you, I want to challenge all of us in this room to celebrate the affirmation of children, not only for Child Month, but every single day. It must be ingrained in our psyche as a people. If we say our children are our future, and we all agree that, and also that they are the most critical part of our present, then we must all consistently and deliberately commit to their elevation and their celebration. We must also accept that affirming our children is not the sole responsibility of family and school. Yes, they are the primary institutions of socialization, but we all as individuals have an obligation. And I know Dr. Mullings will agree. And Corporate Jamaica, we have a fantastic co-sponsor in National. We have some other great sponsors, but all of Corporate Jamaica needs to join this cause. We must lead from the front, and we must all play our part. So the nurturing of positive citizens who are able to contribute to the growth and success of our nation redounds to the benefit of the entire country and to every single one of us. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you, Gail. I love that line. We must elevate and celebrate our children. Powerful. And, you know, speaking of children, you know, most of our children cannot, in this country, can't live without them national products. National Baking Company Foundation has a director sitting here, and I want to invite now Craig Hendrickson to bring his comments. Yes?
Costas, Madam MC, Dr. Mullins, Gail, Nicole, and other members of the NCMC and members of the press. We're all here for you guys today, boys and girls. Once again, the National Baking Company Foundation is pleased to be associated with the National Child Month Committee and its activities. In an effort to assist the NCMC to achieve its Affirm Me objectives. We have committed $600,000 towards the hosting towards the hosting of the Academic Achievement Awards in June. The foundation continues to focus on early childhood development through our continued commitment to our Little Leaders and Training Wheels programs. These two initiatives emphasize literacy development, especially in the subjects of math and science, which we believe are the weakest links and the most important developmental stage of a child's life. This is why over the past 7 years, we have invested in excess of $500 million. We are committed to play our part to influence and develop our nation through our youth. We are happy to announce that we have recently purchased a facility which we will have transformed into a math and science facility for early childhood education based on the tested and proven models around the world. At this facility, we will not only introduce and train teachers new models and ideas, but we will also have a classroom for them to teach our youth. In closing, the French poet Victor Hugo said, "He who opens a school door closes a prison." Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. He who opens a school door closes a prison. And I remember the words of the late Wycliffe Bennett, who influenced my life both in theater and then in media. And in talking with him over the years, he said, we need more performance spaces, because if we don't create those spaces, we might as well build more prisons. Right, so we thank our sponsors for their comments, and now I'd like to invite Kesia Carr, Chief Executive Officer, National Parenting Support Commission, to bring greetings, and she'll be followed by Mrs. Rosalie Gage-Gray, the Chief Executive Officer of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency.
This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Master of Ceremony, and our national treasure, Faye Ellington, Custos, Mr. Stedman Fuller, Chairman of the National Child Month Committee, Dr. Pauline Mullings, Chief Executive Officer of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, and my friend, Mrs. Rosalie Gage-Gray, Chief Executive Officer of AIM Educational Services and keynote speaker, other noted and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, if you don't mind, the children in the audience, members of the media, good morning. Good morning. As I entered the room, I felt and still feel very warm and fuzzy. And so I want to extend greetings from the National Parenting Support Commission in the spirit of peace and love. The National Parenting Support Commission is pleased to be a part of this launch of Child Month, celebrated in May each year. I want to congratulate the National Child Month Committee for the strong theme, Affirm Me. Affirm being the acronym for acknowledge, friend, favor, influence, respect, and motivate. I took great care in noting that at the end of Affirm Me, there is an exclamation mark. This tells me there is an urgent call, a cry, if you will, to everyone. But as the CEO of the National Parenting Support Commission, I want to speak specifically to parents to affirm your children. A, acknowledge. In other words, recognize your child's importance. F, friend. Understand that there must be mutual affection, that bonding is absolutely important. It must be encouraged. F, favor. Your children desire your approval and your support. When they meet your expectations, do not just ignore them, but support and encourage them. Influence. In a time when some of our influences could be called into question, we need to ensure that as parents, we become the most important influence in the lives of our children. We want parents to get involved in the lives of their children. We want them to lead by example, and we want you to encourage your children's dreams and aspirations. Respect. Respect is something that we must teach our children. As adults, I want to caution, though, that is also something we must earn. We must not only expect respect to be reciprocated because we're adults, we must show it. We must model for our children what it means to respect. Motivate. Be your child's cheerleader. Speak positively over his or her life. As a parent, learn to celebrate effort, especially when they're in school and not just grades. That's very important. When your child is doing his or her best and putting out effort, encourage it and support him or her. The National Parenting Support Commission equally sees the theme, Affirm Me, as a heralding, the important point of change. This theme signals that something is about to happen with the many atrocities that have been committed against our children, many of which never get on the airwaves. I pray most earnestly that this become the signal to parents to love, to protect, and to support their children, and of course to the wider society to desist from harming them. The National Parenting Support Commission echoes the theme, and we pray that all activities for Child Month are executed with success. After all, this is another all-important step towards our realizing in 12 years our Vision 2030, Jamaica, the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. I thank you.
So the thing rich this morning. Love it. May I ask Mrs. Rosalie Gage Gray now to come forward and bring her greetings. And you know that they are doing quite a job at the agency that she heads, and it's going to get even more jobs to be done. So here we go. Could you welcome her?
A pleasant good morning. It was Nelson Mandela who quoted, "There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children." The way we ought to treat our children should be led by affirmation, stating emphatically or publicly, as we do during an exchange of wedding vows, or when we take the bold step for those who are Christians to acknowledge Jesus. That's the way we should be affirming our children. As we approach the most important time of our annual calendar, the observance of Child Month, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, and just repeat the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA. It's not so difficult. A lot of people say it's long and hard, but we were the former Child Development Agency and the Office of the Children's Registry, which is now the National Children's Registry, is proud to be a partner with the National Child Month Committee. The combination of great minds and passion for children had led them to the conceptualizing of this year's theme. So appropriate. Affirm me. Acknowledge me. Friend me. Favor me. Influence me. Respect me. And motivate me. These are the simple things our children ask for each of us to do. These are the foundation to the success of any child in our country. So to the members of the committee, we say a big thank you for your commitment and dedication to our nation's children. And might I add to Dr. Munnings for her unwavering support, even if it is she alone. She is always, and she must be commended for the work that she's doing. To our sponsors, we want to say that we value the support that you give to our children. We are truly appreciative of the work that you do. Last year, we made strides in spreading the message to take action and break the chain of child abuse to every corner of the island, such as the Diamond. And as the name suggests, it seems, diamonds are precious. But the Diamond in Buff Bay, Portland, is a place that needs a lot of intervention. Hayes in Clarendon and other parts of the country that we felt we needed to take our boots on the ground and to go into those communities, to visit those communities, to see for ourselves how our children were living, how they were surviving, and what are the resources that we need to give them on the ground for their success. It is our hope that this Child Month brings an understanding across the island that as parents and caregivers, our children need to be acknowledged for doing well. They should feel comfortable to talk to us about things affecting them, just as they would tell a friend. Every child is different and should be treated and favored. We should set good examples and be positive influence to our children and their peers. But most importantly, our children should be respected. We should motivate them even when they fail at something. Your motivation will help them to overcome hurdles and surprise us with their performance, even at the second, third, 7 times. We must have hope in our children to see that they succeed. We place on record our sincere appreciation for the outpouring of love and support in our recent tragedy at the Walker's Place of Safety. This support has been overwhelming. We have a full operation. We have emptied the storehouse more than 20 times. We have had to have officers working overtime just to get the supplies out. And we have been able to give all our homes, not just the children from Walkers. We have been able to, and so we want to place on record our thanks and appreciation as we strive to improve the lives of our children, those in direct care and others. We invite individuals and corporate Jamaica to come in and tour our facilities. Sometimes we speak to people about residential facilities, and their vision is about 15 years ago. A lot has changed. And so we want to invite corporate Jamaica individuals just to come in and to share with us, while we can share with you the vision and dreams that we have for our children in these spaces. We also invite support through our transitional living programs, where we are preparing our youngsters for exiting care. Gentleman here said he was 18, but he's still in a school uniform. He needs the support to continue, and so our transitional living program seeks to assist our youngsters. We have over 70 of such youngsters in tertiary institutions, and we have, through the program, targeting another 400 to get into skills training and other vocational areas that they will be able to transition successfully into independent living. As distinguished individuals and representatives of corporate bodies, you have the capacity to build a Jamaica where our children will have no time to think about hopelessness. They would have been affirmed, and you can make a contribution to that. We continue our partnership with key stakeholders and international agencies in the execution of our activities. And for this Child Month, we are partnering with the Child Month Committee and other entities who have programs during the month. But specifically, we will launch a child protection jingle competition. We are rebranding, and we believe we should focus a little more on the protection aspect of our work and the family aspect of our work. Read Across Jamaica Day, where we are inviting all members of staff and other persons within the community to go back to their primary school, prep schools, to speak to the children there as a motivation to I'm from Westmoreland, and my school was, well, it was Miss Lou's basic school. And so to go back there for them to see that good can come from all of these places that we originate from. We will launch Pediatric Pulse. This is a booklet that's developed by our Serious Case Review panel. For those who don't know, once there is a death in a facility or there are serious critical incidences, we have a committee that's chaired by a pediatrician who examines all of those cases. So the reports are sent and they examine them and make recommendations. So they have recommended a booklet that will assist caregivers to detect and respond in a timely manner to all medical and other therapeutic needs of the children. And so we are going to launch that booklet during the month of May. National Children's Day and Child Management Day. We will have this year, children in care would assume leadership positions within the agency. So somebody will be sitting in my chair, and we have partnered with the parish councils and other government and private sector entities where we will let the children rule for a day. And one of the important things of it is that they must make a decision. So they must make a decision that day. And so it has been very good that we'll have the Missing Children's Forum through the Ananda Alert Secretariat, and our National Children's Expo, as Mrs. Staple Banks said. And I'm really putting a plug for this expo. We had it last year. It was so good to see so many persons who were not afraid to take their special needs children out. That's a stigma we have in the country, and I think this is a good way to say to them we are affirming their children and that their children can be successful as well. So we invite a lot of support for this fair that we'll have in the month. We are also partnering with the Fire Brigade, as was said earlier, and we will launch our child protection campaign. We look forward to your involvement in as many of these activities as possible. And as I started, I will end. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way it treats its children. Let us affirm them. Thank you.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me. A world I call my home. Be my friend, be my guide in this world that we've designed, one that feels like home. They can say it all seems crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, and million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be if you affirm the vision that I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Affirm my dreams, build the world we're born to make.
There's a house I'd like to build where every room inside is filled with dreams to make you grow. These special things that I've compiled will motivate you, make you smile, when you're feeling low. They can say it all seems crazy. And they can say we've lost our minds. But I don't care if they call us crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, affirming the visions that we see. A million dreams, it's all it's gonna take.
Build the world we're gonna make. Let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong. Just say that you'll bring me along to the world you see. To the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake.
A million dreams, a million dreams.
I think of what the world could be, affirming the visions that we see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. And dream my dreams, build a world we're gonna make. For my dreams, build a world we're born to make.
Right, we're going to move on now. It's time to prepare for the guest speaker. And I've heard lots of things about this lady, so I am sitting and waiting too. So, Mr. Davy Horton, member of the National Child Month Committee, could you come forward? And, I'm glad to see this, because I saw so woman seen a yellow except two men. And we need to have the men involved. And I'm particularly happy that you're a younger man, because many of our young people are not involved in these entities. So thank you for your service, and we appreciate it, and pull some other men in.
Custos of Kingston, Mr. Stedman Fuller, Chairperson of the National Child's Month Committee, Dr. Mullins, keynote speaker, who I'm charged to introduce, sponsors, distinguished guests, heads of public and private agencies, partners, good morning. I've been given a really awesome task. I wouldn't even call it a task, really. It's a privilege to introduce this lady. Our guest speaker models an impressive and thriving career as an entrepreneur, educator, professional speaker, and author. She is regarded as one of the most inspiring voices on empowerment, education, fashion, parenting, and entrepreneurship. She is a graduate of the St. Andrew High School for Girls, Phillips Academy, Andover, Princeton University, and the University of London's School of Advanced Study and African and Oriental Studies. She's a founder of AIM Educational Service, which transformed the preparation of students for college, starting out initially with just 2 students, amazing, to guiding scores of students to some of the most prominent universities in the world, including the likes of Oxford and Cambridge in the UK, and all 8, unbelievably, all 8 Ivy League institutions in the United States of America. She is also the founder of AIM Higher Education Foundation, which focuses on identifying, developing, and empowering promising low-income students so that they too can unlock their potential through access to tertiary education. She serves on numerous public boards, namely the Early Childhood Commission, the High Trust NTA, the Jamaica Tertiary Education Committee, and the Chase Fund. Her passion for empowerment extends beyond the classroom and the boardroom. Her public-spirited disposition spans numerous civic and voluntary involvement, namely doing empowerment talks in schools across Jamaica, and has spoken for companies including Access Financial, Caribbean Boilers, JMMB, Sagicor Jamaica, and Scotia. Just last year, in 2017, she published her first book entitled Make It Count, Tips on Unlocking Your Vision in 2017 and Beyond. Now newly revised this year, entitled Make It Count, Tips on Unlocking Your Vision. The book is underscored by her belief, her principle, that successful people aren't born that way. And with the right toolkit, we all can do what successful people do. In 2017, she was selected to speak at the Paris headquarters of the UNESCO as part of the Give One Foundation Emerging Global Leaders Conference and received the Women in Leadership Award. She is a wife to Mr. Jeffrey Campbell, reggae artist also known as Agent Sasko, mother of 3 children, namely Elsie, 6-year-old, Joshua, 5-year-old, and the bonus one, 12-year-old, Ali. She loves doing videos with her kids and posting them on her favorite social media platform, Instagram. She is a self-professed inspirational quote junkie, and her personal motto is aim high and be bold. And her mission is to squeeze every ounce out of life. With no more ado, I introduce you to none else, Mrs. Nicole McLaren Campbell. Welcome her.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. Yes. I'm completely stealing that with no more ado. I love that one. Also, I wish I could have voice noted your greetings because they were so flawless and you didn't look like you were looking at anything. And I'm taking the easy way out by saying all protocol observed, which I know is the easy way out. So the first thing I want to do is thank you all for having me. Thank you to the committee for asking me to be here today because this is one of the causes that I'm most passionate about. I'm going to apologize for my voice as me and I realize 95% of Jamaica are under something. So I don't know what, if it's flu, my sinus, everything mixed up. And, you know, my worst nightmare was achieved when I woke up and I couldn't speak. And, you know, because I love to chat. So the worst thing that can happen to me is that I lose my voice, right? And I said, well, I don't care. I'm still coming here because it's so important. And so thank you all for I'm going to ask you all to affirm me today in this speech. I coughed all of last night, so my vocabulary might be not as great as it might be normally. And so here I am to talk about affirming children. I find myself feeling like a child in need of affirmation myself. So affirmation is something we all need. We all need affirmation. And, you know, what strikes me about children and why it's so important for them to be affirmed. Think about it. We need affirmation so regularly in our own lives. But children and young people, if you think about the stages of brain development, and I've had cause to look at it and to be thinking about it recently, you know, a child's brain, first of all, between 0 to 3, that's when they're learning the most. They're absorbing the most. They're really building images of self. And then in their teenage years, that need for acceptance and for really, you know, building their own sense of who they are and who they can be in the world is at such an influential stage that if they don't get that affirmation in those key stages, then, it can really have effects for the rest of their lives. So we need it as adults, but they need it even more because it affects so much of who they can become. And so I'm passionate about it, and I'm really excited to be here this morning. I thought about, and in preparing for this morning, I went to the dictionary. I thought about what does it mean to affirm. We have a great acronym here, and whoever came up with it, was this the committee's doing? I found it fabulous. Big up yourself, Auntie Pauline, I'm going to call you, because I don't know you, but I hear Gail call it that, so I'm right there with it, Auntie Pauline. With your energy, I can see that Child Month win and sell off already. I thought about, so I looked it up, and the whole support and encouragement, and, as we think about each word here, and I thought to myself, why does it matter? Who cares? Why is it that important? And so we talked about the brain development a while ago, but when we think about self-esteem and self-respect, and what can somebody who has a healthy sense of both do in the world? It gives you goosebumps. I know personally, my mother was always reinforcing, my ideas. She never, to her, it was all possible for me. And because of that, even in my periods of self-doubt, I was able to try at least. Not to say it always works out. And I'm very passionate, even with my children now, about helping them to understand the idea of failing forward. I think it's so important, and building that resilience. But without the presence of an affirming adult, and even the research shows, I know it through personal experience, I'm sure many of you do too, but in researching for this morning, I found the studies. And the presence of an affirming adult is one of the key determinants in building a resilient child, and then therefore a resilient adult. And resilience, I can't think of anything that could be more important now than resilience, because life is happening, don't it? Oh, yeah. Jeez, you, every day. And if it's not one thing, it's the next. And it's so easy to become discouraged, and so easy to become depressed, and so easy after failure to feel as though nothing is going to work out. But with resilience, you live to fight another day. You live to try again. You don't internalize that failure and take it personally like, oh, there's something wrong with me. You're like, oh, failure is a part of life. What can I learn? How can I do better? And you keep going. And you keep moving forward. And what you can do for self, for family, for Jamaica, for the world, if you don't give up and if you keep pushing according to a vision that you have for your life and for your impact, there are no limits to what can happen. And the presence of an affirming adult does that for a child. And to know that I matter. To know that I matter and I count. And I'm here for a reason. And it is significant. That can inform the entire life and trajectory of a child. So I thought about the resilience. I thought about the sense of esteem, the respect, not only that you give to yourself, but also that you give to your environment. And we look around and we see the garbage, something like that. A greater sense of respect and pride in oneself would result in a cleaner space for all of us, because you just don't do certain things. You respect yourself, you respect your environment. You see yourself as part of something. Those are all things we get when we affirm children. So I don't want to be redundant, and it was great to listen to all the remarks and to hear different perspectives. But we know the benefits to Jamaica and to the world and our society. Vision 2020, to everything that we seek to build in Jamaica comes from affirming children. And so I also thought about, well, how can we do that more? And how can we see Jamaica's children as our children? All of them. They're all ours. And we all navigate and occupy these different roles in life. So, you go home and you're a wife and mommy. Or you come to work and you're, aim. Or we're always navigating these roles, but in each role, we can be more conscious and devoted to affirming children wherever and whenever we see the opportunity. One thing I know for sure is that when you look for opportunity, you find opportunity. One of my great mentors of all times, my favorite Uncle Glenn Christian, who is the head of CARIMED, always tells me that. Whatever you look for, you see. So wherever other people are talking about problems, he always says, Nicole, other people see problems, you need to see opportunity. I say, yes, Uncle Glenn. So when we look for the opportunity to affirm in these different roles that we occupy on a daily basis, we find. So whether it is as the head of a company or an influential player in a company, and we see the opportunity to sponsor the academic achievement awards for non-traditional schools, then we do that. I would say, big up National. Yes, big up National Bakery. And where we see the opportunity as GraceKennedy to support all of the Child Month's activities, we do that. And where I see the opportunity in my daily life to say to teenagers, you can. And sometimes I have to rough them up too, call it roughing up in it, you know. Because we're not just going to affirm and praise and say, oh, isn't it great and everything you do is so great. Sometimes my affirmation is like, get up and work harder because I expect more of you. I have higher expectations and you can meet them. So stop playing small. Stop wasting your time. So sometimes the affirmation look rough too. So it's not just the praising and the, oh, you can. You know, it's the, you will. And I expect this. And, you know, I've also really become very deliberate about affirming young people, teenagers, in the sense that you can do something about the problems you see around you. Do not feel passive about your society. Gone are the days. So you have a problem with plastics. What can you do in your school? And how can you educate more of your peers and spread and create a movement? So I try to help them to see that all things are possible. In doing my research for today as well, I came across a study from the University of, this is where I have to use my notes. I'm not very good at using notes, but I'm trying. The University of Bergen. Christine Nordahl was looking at affirmation and children and how parents and positive engagement makes a difference for children. And we often speak to time, spending more time with children, spending more time with our children, with the children we come across as being a major determinant, a major key, right? And I know it's a key. Children interpret time as love. So all the I love you. If you're not giving them the time and prioritizing them, and I police myself on this because, you know, life can get very busy. But I have to remember, Nicole, what's your priority here? No. It's not just time. The study said it's the quality time. Especially now with, you know the thing. I know the thing. Right? So it's not just time, but it's quality time. And it's looking at the engagement. And she was talking about the role of fathers. And I take that very seriously, and I reaffirm it whenever I can. But positive engagement and examples. So when I looked at the study and I thought about what do I do in my own household and what do we do as parents to encourage that, one of the things that I didn't even realize that clearly was achieving some of these goals is we have games night every Sunday night. I saw it as an idea online somewhere, maybe on Instagram. But the idea that let's just get rid of all electronic devices, and for a couple hours we're going to play some board games, and and it's fun, but it also, you know, teaches them about failure. If it's Monopoly, I guess we teach them about money a little bit, I don't know. But the idea was that engagement in terms of quality with teaching lessons but through fun and making that a routine. So I try as much as possible with my children and to affirm their own abilities to create routine and structure for them where they know they have our time. And, you know, and their father is a very important part of that. And so we each have our own different things that we like to do, but as a family, we like to do the games night. And so the positive engagement, but the quality. And so not just being there and then on phone, or you being there and they're doing this and they're doing that, but what can you do together? And so that has been a really important important thing for me. Teaching children how to affirm each other is also really important. That's really key. You know, even in looking at their interactions with each other, my children, I try to look for those opportunities where I can. And it's also, you know, great. My sister taught me this one, to, as much as possible, give them exposure to the reality of how, of different issues that children, even their age, face. So my sister took my niece to visit a few children's homes, and she has been doing that on a consistent basis. And then it was her birthday, and she says, "Mommy, instead of gifts, I'm going to ask everybody to make a cash donation to this home." And, well, she collected all the money. And by the time she was finished adding it up, it was like almost $200,000. And she just went and made her donation. And I was so proud of her. She's like, "Mommy, I don't need any more toys. I want to go back and, you know, help, you know, these kids that we saw and continuing that engagement." It's a simple idea, but if more of us did it, imagine, you know. And so I've become a real fan of the simple things that we can just incorporate into our daily lives. Yes, some of us are going to be Betty and Blaines of the world. Big up yourself, Betty and Blaine. You're like my hero, right? And that's awesome. And some of us have different callings, but the idea is that whatever our callings are, we can incorporate small things into our lives to become advocates in our own rights, in our own spaces, in wherever we're called. We can become advocates of children just by doing small things in our homes and wherever we see the opportunity to interact and engage. One of the things I love most about my job, where I coach teenagers, and some people are like, "How do you manage them?" But it's so exciting to see what can happen in the mind and in the action of a human being. The brain, young and trainable, you know. Because sometimes when you get old like us, the brain get tough. It's true, it's research, it's not just. So when they're young, children and teenagers, your brain can mold. You can plant the seeds. And when you plant some good seeds and you see how it makes a difference, and they say, "Wow, I didn't even think that was possible. Thank you for telling me that was possible." Let us not underestimate the power of planting a seed, and let us look to just plant them wherever and whenever. Like Uncle Glenn tell me, let's just see possibilities everywhere to plant the seeds and to just watch Jamaica just, you know, continue to grow. And let us focus on the positive and seek in a conscious way in our lives, wherever and whenever possible, to continue to build and grow that. I can't finish without being up my two members of the Early Childhood Commission who are also here, Miss Rosalie Gage Gray, Rebecca Harper. At the Early Childhood Commission, we're doing a great deal of work to really, really affirm our children and to make sure that the ECIs are meeting the standards. And we have 12 standards, and 2 of them really speak to the relationships that caregivers, parents, you know, influencers in the lives of children should be seeking to inculcate, and more initiatives from companies like National that seek to train caregivers in building those relationships. So it's not just learning the ABCs and all those other skills, although they're really important, but with a healthy sense of self, an affirmed child can, you know, go above and beyond even our wildest expectations and dreams. So thank you for having me. This is a cause that is near and dear. I went on Amazon when I heard about the yellow May the 15th, become my yellow dress after sort out. I will do my best to spread the word. Nothing would make me happier than to see Jamaica just covered in yellow, and we all come together to just affirm our children and to make it our priority. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
I'm putting her center stage because she deserves to be there.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yes, just go. You follow my instructions. Mostly because you think so you graduate from Princeton, me can't give you instruction. Stand up right there. So wasn't she excellent? Mrs. Cope, follow my instructions, Mrs. Cope. And stay right there, so. And while you're right there, so Mrs. Cope, come here for me, please. Romario, come. All 3 of you, come here. Quick, quick, quick. Time ago. Fire, fire, fire. Come. Tell me one thing that you got from this speech. One. The thing that jumped out at you.
Well, what I got from her is that we should not be afraid to speak out. We have the power, even in this time, to really speak out of what on things that we don't stand for. Like as you say about the bottle, the plastics. If you don't believe in that, you can gather your friends and say, you know what, let's just rally around and just protest against the use of plastic and stuff.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. Come on over here. One thing.
Well, I learned what really touched me is when you said, parents should affirm their children and say, not only that we can, but we will, we must. And that really touched me. So.
And let me ask young Esther.
The thing that really touched me is that when she said that, like, children, they can do, children are the future, because without children, because remember that adults and teachers and everyone that are around us these days, they were children once, and then like children, they would want like someone to encourage them, push them, continue to motivate them, and continue to teach them the correct things to do, because these days parents they're cursing bad words around the children, and that's not nice. So I think that if the parents could set better examples for the children, so that we could learn and we could do anything that we want to just motivate us and continue to push us, so that we could do anything in life and be anything in life that we want to.
Come. Don't move. All three of you, go and stand beside Mrs. McLaren Campbell. Photographers, please capture this. Look here, me not think you understand the importance of them little moment here, serious things. No, man, I make it look like straight line. Tell them on the one if you stand up. Right.
Mrs. McLaren Campbell, you were awesome. When we thought of getting a guest speaker, we were wondering who should we ask this year, and her name came up, and we decided to go for it. And today we are very, very grateful to you for coming and for addressing us. And now we're going to make a presentation to you from the Grace, the great food people. And I want you to enjoy on behalf of all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to ask Ms. Gale, could you come and officially launch Child Month 2018? Remember that, unfortunately, the Honorable Douglas Orain, who would have loved to do this, is recuperating, and so the task has fallen to my dear friend here, Mrs. Gale Moss-Solomon.
Thank you very much. I can tell you that Mr. Webby and Mr. Orain are going to be so jealous and upset that they missed today. I mean, today has absolutely been the event of the year for me. It has just been fantastic. Don't you all agree? Yes. So I just have to say to the Planning Committee, to the National Child Month Development Committee, to our fellow sponsors, to our journalists, to the media, even to the ones who didn't happen to fall and hurt themselves. You're all equally dedicated and important. Our fantastic guest speaker, friends all, because we're all friends now. Between Auntie Faye and Nicole and Auntie Polly, we're all friends here, right? So, friends all, it really is my honor and privilege to now officially declare Child Month 2018, May 2018, officially launched. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very, very much. And please extend our best wishes to those members of your team who are unfortunately not able to be here because of illness. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the final two things that will come from the lectern. When we're finished here, there'll be refreshments. But right now, Ms. Tanisha Miller, member of the National Child Month Committee, might I invite you now to come forward.
Master of Ceremonies, Faye Ellington, Custos of Kingston, keynote speaker, Mrs. Nicole McLaren Campbell, Commissioner. Sponsors, NPSC, CPSFA, SA, members of the National Child Month Committee, Dr. Mullins, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a pleasure to have you here today to mark the beginning of our celebration of our children. You have, in a huge way, contributed to another successful launch. This comes at a time when we need to acknowledge our precious gems: friend, favor, influence, respect, and motivate them. Auntie Faye, can't say I know you from morning time on JBC, but I know you. I know you from the classroom, and she wasn't just a lecturer, she was the teacher. I have also known you from social media, all your Instagram posts and all of those. Yes, I know you from them. You have made an indelible mark on the Jamaican society through broadcasting, teaching, acting, and play acting. Today you did it again. Your shrewdness and satire always captivates your audience attention. Thank you for sharing your skills, time, and talent. Thank you for story time. A big thank you to the media in helping the National Child Month Committee to fulfill its mandate in sensitizing Jamaicans to the theme for the year. You are encouraging a better relationship with and amongst our children, in fostering family, community, and having a progressive nation. Media, we thank you. To our children, you are the center of it all. Thanks to One Voice and Jody Johnson of reminding us that children need all the praise now when they are young. It benefits us all to do right by our children. Let us as adults continue to do that. The Honorable Douglas Orain, patron of Child Month, even though you're absent, thank you, Mrs. Moss. Our prayers are with you, and we wish for you a speedy recovery. To our guest speaker, Mrs. Nicole McLaren Campbell, and I refer to her as Commissioner. You have always been a motivator to people all around, from your thousands of followers on social media to the children you coach daily, and to the many universities that you have helped to deploy the brightest and youngest of our Jamaicans yearly. Thanks for that. Today you remind us that the vision that we need to accomplish, it should come from uplifting our children. You also emphasized that we need to look for opportunities in children and mold them in a positive way. You said the presence of the parent and the guardian should be the focus of you said the presence of the parent or the guardian is the best in affirming our children, and it is key in developing a resilient child. To our sponsors, all of this would not be possible without you. You have taken the business of nurturing and caring for our children to another level. Show off if you must. Show and tell the world what you have done and what is it that you're doing. Let them be jealous of your accomplishments. I am sure they will want to join us later on in the year, and not to mention next year, which will be bigger and better. Our sponsors are GraceKennedy Limited, National Baking Company Limited Foundation, Kingston Bookshop, National Health Fund, General Accident Insurance Company Limited, Island Grill Limited, Jamaica Producers, Restaurants of Jamaica, RGR Gleaner Communication Groups. Thank you for being on board. It couldn't have been done without you. Our audience, your presence shows us the commitment that you have in helping to nurture Jamaican children. Thank you. You're doing something wonderful and something special. What it now means is that you'll all be a part of all of our other activities that we have planned for the rest of the year. To the members of the National Child Month Committee, kudos. We may not be getting a check at the end of the month, an honorarium, a subsidy, overseas trip, but the smile that you bring to the faces of our children is all we ask for, and I hope it remains. Thank you to the hardworking team. Our belief is that anything which improves the prospects of our children improves our world. In a time when children are impacted by crime, violence, and other negative societal issues, we must unite as their guide and affirm them. I implore everyone to be the good in a child's life. Frequently, adults misunderstand children, and instead of trying to affirm them, we're selfish and may resort to unkind treatment. As Frederick Douglass said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Imagine a Jamaica where children are given the best from the start. We'd have more individuals who contribute to the growth of our economy through productivity, less violent acts being perpetrated, and a constant reduction in the unemployment rate in our country. Thank you again for being here and contributing to this cause in whatever way you can. As Miss Lou would have said, walk wood.
Thank you, Miss Miller. And now, might I ask, and I had something to do from Miss Lou, Sure, I have it right here in my hand, and you just said that, so you're linking. Sandria Longwhite, might I invite you now to the microphone? I think you know exactly what is what. Watch her come down like she just innocent of what she's about to do.
Well, I was trying to get out of this, but I'm doing it anyway. When Dr. Mullins was talking earlier, she mentioned about the committee being her legs. That's a good analogy, Dr. Mullins. But I want to put it to you. Ever see four legs stand up on their own? No. No. It has to have a seat or a base to anchor it, right? Yeah. I want the National Child Month Committee members to stand again. Right. We want to acknowledge the base, the seat for us. We are the legs, right? We want to acknowledge the seat, the base, the anchor that keeps this committee going over the years. This person has been with the committee for a very long time. And for the past 10 years, she has been the anchor, the leg that has been pushing and carrying this committee forward. Even when we don't see the way forward in terms of sponsorship for our activities, she said, plan the activities, let us go in faith, and we put on a prayer and we just move on and it comes together. Dr. Mullins, man, come up here. Yes, she has been out of commission for a little while. But yesterday we met with her and she said something that even though she was not there, we still went on and planned everything. And she said, that's a sign of a good leader. And we quite agree with you, Dr. Mullins. That is a sign of a good leader. And we want to laud and honor you for the leadership that you have been providing to this committee for the past 10 years. And even before that, we thank you for what you have done. Dion, we thank you for what you have been doing for us, and we want to let you know that we love you. We have not forgotten. We want to just express in a small way our appreciation for what you have been doing for us. So thank you. Committee, let's give her a hand. Just a small token.
Go to the Go to the center so the photographers can get a clean and clear picture. Put your hands together one more time for this fabulous lady. Thank you very, very much. Right. And so we're going to close off. They say I have closing remarks, so I thought I would remark in this fashion. Not my words, but my dear Miss Lou. It's called Good Morning, Teacher. Good morning, teacher. How are you? My name is Sarah Poole. This is my little boy, Michael, and I've carried him to school. He was born one rainy day, madam. It was going on tonight. Ugly baby grew up pretty fit true, for this one was a sight. He was born the week when Rufus jackfruit tree start to bear. Is that same month Obi Pig died, but I forgot the year. We call him Mike, Mikey, Jakey, Jacob Jack, but his right name is Michael Jacob Alexander Black. Don't treat him rough, okay, teacher? Him is a sickly child. As you touch him hard, he will make nice. Some people says that him spoil. Take your time with him, okay, teacher? If he's rude and start to misbehave, just beat another boy and he will get frightened and behave. Numerous times when he is rude at home and won't listen at all, I just beat the foot of the bed hard, miss, and you should have hear how Jack ball. Now that you know his ways are like and don't have any fear that any harm will come to him, so I leave him in your care. Aye, from Miss Lou. Thank you so very much for being here and sharing, and walk good till next time. What is the date when we must wear the yellow? What's the date when we are to wear the yellow? Me hear, you see, deaf ears Goliath trouble, you know. Deaf ears Goliath trouble. Me hear 15, me hear 16, me hear 18. It's a which Friday? The third Friday in May. Write it down and do not tell people the wrong something. And the third Friday in May, make me look and just tell you, so no not tell people stupidness, is the 18th of May, because I did write it down when Miss Lady was speaking. The 18th of May. So get the yellow. Go on Amazon and get the things. Walk good, everybody. Refreshments will now be served.